Hey, what's up, guys? So we're just going to go over infant CPR today. Pretty basic, just going to be doing our compressions and respirations. So infant is anyone who is newborn to 1 year of age. Today we're going to be using our keychain barrier or keychain mask or barrier device, what they call it. This is a training device, so you don't have the actual plastic piece that sticks in there. It's similar to this. When you use a real barrier or CPR keychain mask or barrier device, you're going to have a small piece of plastic that has a filter in it like this. This is a training barrier, so if you're going to buy these online, make sure you're not buying a training barrier unless you're using it for training. But we're going to be using this on our infant, once again, newborn to 1 year of age. Compressions are no different than adult, child, and infant as far as rate and quality. We're looking at 30 compressions to 2 breaths or 2 respirations. The difference between adult, child, and infant is depth, of course, and hand placement or finger placement. On a baby, adult, child, and infant, we're using 30 compressions to 2 breaths. What's super important with the breaths is that each breath is only 1 second per breath, and we're not taking more than 10 seconds to give those 2 breaths. More importantly is that those individual breaths are only enough to give rise to the chest, okay? We don't want to dump an entire adult volume of air from our lungs into the baby because it's just too much volume. We'll hurt the baby. Next thing is those 2 breaths, whether they go in, whether you see rise and fall of the chest or not, we don't delay. 10 seconds is the max. You attempt a breath, right? Attempt a second breath and get right back on the compressions. Today's information and what we know nowadays is that compressions are super, super important. Now with compressions, the reason why I advocate so much for hands-on training is because I run into different organizations and entities that use pillows or teddy bears or their own hand to teach or advocate or teach employees and new people and family members and other people associated with the organizations I'm meeting, that there are some people out there who don't have access to mannequins, so they're using their hand or a teddy bear or a pillow. I understand improvising, adapting, and overcoming, but when it comes to this, I don't think there's any reason. There are plenty of instructors around. If you need somebody to help you teach, we can have mannequins, adult, child, and or infant, plus bleeding control supplies, all shipped to you, and we'll go ahead and do the training online. That way you really get a profound understanding of what 1.5 inches is. So another difference between adult, child, and infant is that the compressions are only 1.5 inches, right? For an infant. What does that look like? What does it feel like? And the only way you're going to understand that is through muscle memory and hands-on training. So with these Preston mannequins, they're amazing because you're going to get a confirmation with that clicking noise that I'm going deep enough, about 1.5 inches. There's no click, it's not adequate, right? So you get the click, right? Next thing is you can see these lights going off and on. So here's the power light right next on the diaper here, next to the blue button. That one's irrelevant at this point, just shows there's power. Now we're looking at rate, looking at 100 to 120 compressions, right? Through those 5 cycles or the CPR, 30 compressions to 2 breaths. What that should look like is approximately the 2 green lights that you see there showing proper rate. And with the clicking, proper depth. Now if I'm going too fast, you're gonna see the yellow light kick on. If I'm going too slow, but proper depth, because I can hear the click, I'm only going to get that 1 green light and possibly even red. So the great thing is with hands-on training, especially with these mannequins that we advocate, and I'll be putting out a video on these mannequins and going in depth on them, you get that confirmation audibly, you get that confirmation visibly. So when it comes to a baby, comes to cardiac arrest, we absolutely want to be on the floor. We're on a table right now for instructional purposes only, make it a little easier for me to convey the information to you. So our compressions to respirations, we're going to go ahead and do our 30 compressions and 2 breaths. I'll walk through a couple cycles with our mask. So let's get it on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30. And now we're only using the 2-finger technique right now. So to pause right now, there's a 2-finger technique, thumb circling technique. Then we have the thumb circling technique. Hands around the back like this, hold the baby on the side, 2 thumbs in the center of the sternum in line with the nipple line, and compressing, okay? So now, we've been doing 2-finger, stand up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Twelve, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Remember, respirations, as you saw, just enough to get rise out of the chest, no more. I'm not attempting more than 2 breaths. If the breath doesn't go in, keep moving back on. Most important is our compressions. You saw the 2-finger technique, you saw the 2 thumb circling technique, and we used our barrier. No matter what, don't quit. All right, if you need training, find somebody, get hands-on training. If you need training, send us a message. We'll get you the equipment, we'll get you the supplies, and we'll get you trained. Stay strong, don't give up.